Well,
He kept
Nick,
it
let me
classy.
just tell you this: if you're listening, or somebody call you up, I remember now talking to you. You're nice. He's young too, like 20 or something, right?
22.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong.
Oh, Esteban say 23. Whenever I say Esteban is 22, he'll say 23.
Right. That's what I was thinking of.
I enjoy talking to you, Nick, but you got to move out of your mama's house, boy. You can't fight a battle living with mama.
You listening?
But I totally enjoy talking to you, Nick, and I like the fact that you are standing up for what is right, and I like the fact that you are white and standing up, because white people don't normally stand up, especially white males. So I do remember all that. Now, all the other crap. So I interviewed a guy by the name of Nick
Fuentes.
Fuentes. What you all don't know is my guest, my producer, and sometimes James, and sometimes Ermin is my PR guy, and sometimes Dylon, right? They find the guests. I don't look for guests. I don't find, and most of the time I have no idea who they're talking about, right? But they're millennials. They're into the know. Ermis is not a millennial. Ermis is old.
Gen X.
Gen X, XX. But these guys are millennials, so they're into all this stuff. And so they introduce these people and say, hey, these people out here, can we get them on the show? Would you like, and they tell me a little bit about them. But I don't know y'all. So if I forget your name, it's just that I never knew it before. I've just studied the report that Nick gives me, and I do the interviews, right? So when I forgot Nick Fuentes, that's right?
Fuentes.
Fuentes' last name, I was serious about it. I didn't even remember the interview. I just remember when they reminded me, I do remember enjoying the interview. We had a good conversation together. And I'm like, wow, this is a smart young man. And I like the fact that he is standing up for, and I think he's still living with his mama, doesn't he? In the basement somewhere?
Yeah.
That's
Mom
the
and
That's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm in
He
there.
ain't got nobody to live with mama.
And Dad.
Yeah, you called him out for that.
How is he fighting against the homosexual people? He live with mama. Beta!
That's the generation. The generation-wide culture has accepted it.
He's trying to save money.
But why did he let anybody know he was living with mama if he's out there fighting a battle? I would have told it.
Oh, yeah.
They would have been like, where do you live? Down the road. I would have pointed toward the house. I wouldn't be lying, right? I would have said, down the road. How you going to be living with mama and fighting a battle as a man should fight? Y'all the experts.
point.
How is that?
I mean, you have a point. You called him out on it too.
He hasn't been to your church yet.
Yeah.
He live in L.A.?
No. That's partly why, probably.
Oh.
Yeah,
But I enjoyed the conversation with him. But then later, you know, people told me other things that he had said. I don't know if he said them, and I don't care. You have the freedom in America to say what you want.
Right.
Say what you want to say. You have the freedom to say. You might not agree with it, but you have a right to say it.
The second you forgot his name, though, all his fans were like, "Oh, Jesse flipped on him. He hates Nick.
I don't
Groypers
even remember
unite.
him.
Oh, he's a boomer. You got OK boomered hard. Do you know what OK boomer is?
No.
Oh.
Skyler, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
All is well. How you doing?
Doing fine, doing fine.
Good.
Good.
Good, man.
I was calling to answer your question.
My biblical question,
Yes, sir.
what do you believe?
I believe in God. I believe in America first.
You believe in America before you believe in God?
I believe that God directs us to put our nation first.
And how do you know you believe in America first?
Well, I suppose a man knows that he believes anything by his own actions and his own thoughts.
And how do you know you believe in God?
And wake up every day and believe that he's going to give you the answers that you seek.
And what type of answers are you seeking?
Today, I'd love to get an answer on a recent comment you made about Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Who is that?
Nick Fuentes. You've had him on your show before. You had a caller call in and ask for your position on some of the Turning Point USA, America First, back and forth that's been going on.
Right.
And I thought you had an interesting position. You talked a lot about freedom of assembly
Right.
in your response, and I thought that was a very interesting take. It seems like you were taking a personal stance on that, in that if you were to meet in a private setting with a congregation of willing individuals who wish to meet with each other and no one else, it should be their right to do so.
Do you disagree with that?
No, sir, I completely agree with that.
Oh, okay.
My question was just for clarification's sake, because I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. My point is, the caller at the time was, I think, a little bit either misinformed or not as forthcoming with sort of the situation, at least as I see it, as I think maybe they could have been. They didn't point out that these were not private settings where these questions are being boxed and folks are being moved out of line so that they can't ask questions, profiled if they have a rosary or a MAGA hat.
So are you saying that?
Asking reasonable conversations in a Q&A in an open
Skyler.
public forum. Where
Skyler.
people are,
Hey, Skyler.
college campus.
Skyler,
Yes,
did you call to ask me the biblical question, or you call to ask me about this? Because it would have been fine if you had just been up front. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's only a beta male that would connive like that. Don't be conniving. Be up. The problem with you guys, you're not honest
Sir,
people.
I am not a beta male, and I don't appreciate the.
So
the
why
insult
did
calling
you
me
just
conniving.
call to ask me the question straight up like a man should do?
Well, as I'm aware, I did answer your question.
No,
and
you pretended
asked me
that.
If there's any questions
You
that
pretended
I had
that. You
that I wanted
pretended that.
answered, and then I openly and
Hey,
honestly answered that
Skyler.
question. I don't
Skyler.
think that was me.
I'm gonna put Skyler on hold. Hold on, Skyler, because I do want to answer the question. Skyler called pretending that he wanted to ask the biblical question, but he really wanted to ask about what this other stuff with Turning Point or something. And this is the problem, men. You cannot be this way. You're gonna lose the battle. You're acting like liberal females. Women are very cunning. Not all, but most. Very cunning. And so you're acting like cunning women. How are you expected to win a battle when you're acting just like the people that you are against? You can't win evil by being evil. You have to defeat evil by being of good, by being honest, by speaking up, by being upfront. Really. People respect you when you're upfront. So all these people who are going after Turning Point or whatever you think you're doing, you can't fight fire with fire. You got to fight it with truth. And men don't fight like this. This is not how men win wars. And you can't be a Christian and act like the non-Christians. Look at the president, the great white hope. He's up front. Jesus Christ up front. Stop being beta males. Beta! Overcome your mama so you can act like men. Just FYI. So, Skyler.
Yes, sir.
Stop being a beta male, man. You can't win like that.
Jesse, I
Men are not
apologize if you
supposed to
think
be
that-
acting like women.
Jesse, you put me on a hold. So you can
No,
speak
you
now.
in a
Can I
hole.
say
You came
something?
in a hole, man.
I'm asking you if I can.
But you
answer.
pretended you wanted to
Okay.
do the biblical. You don't even believe in God. You're a pretender.
Do you really think that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I answered your question, and then you
No,
asked me an entirely honest question.
But
and I
you
responded
pretended
honestly.
that
I
you were
don't feel
calling
that
about. You could have easily
No,
called
that's
up and
not
said.
true, Jesse.
You
That's
could have.
not true. I
Listen,
called you
Skyler.
and I answered your
Skyler.
question.
Skyler. You could have easily called up and say, "Hey, I want to ask Jesse about that statement about this Turning Point thing, to what he meant about it, or I disagree with him."
Fair criticism.
We still
That's
could have
fair
had a
criticism.
conversation.
That's fair criticism, and I tell you what, Jesse, I promise you, in any future conversation where I call you, I will not hesitate to declare exactly what's on my mind.
Right. I
But
appreciate
promise
that,
you,
man.
I promise you,
Hold
I did
on.
not feel dishonest in saying
Hold
that
on,
I
Scott.
wanted to answer your question.
Hold on, Skyler. Hold on. I gotta take a quick break. I'll come back to Skyler. Amazing. Where the men?
Not an alpha male.
Hey, okay. I was talking to Joel. Going live. James got going live. Were we out too long? So I want to go back to Skyler, and then I get to your D lives and all that, because one of the things I realized is that, as I said, there is good and evil, but it's gonna take real men to bring this thing back to order, to represent what's right, to represent God. So, and through them, God will straighten it out again, right? But these men who are fighting, they're fighting with the same spirit of the people that they're fighting against. Skyler mentioned that Turning Point was allegedly discriminating against, well, he didn't even say allegedly, discriminating against the Groyper, was that what they call themselves, during the opening Q&A session. And that's been alleged. That have not been proven, right? But even if they were, if two people get together or one person get together and decide they want to have a forum or a meeting, they can do what they want. They have a right to. They may not agree with it, and they may be hiding or don't want real questions or whatever. Go and do your own meeting. Invite them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, that's what real men do. They don't, you can't win like this. Skyler.
Yes, yes.
Okay. You mentioned that Turning Point was turning away the Q&A from the people who disagree with them, right?
Yeah, and it sounds to me like you're calling them fearful. You're saying that they're acting in a way that is unchristian. They're hiding and they're.
But you can't
conniving.
impose yourself upon another person. You shouldn't, and you wouldn't.
Well,
If you,
is it-
unless
is it
it's a
unchristian to
politician.
ask another
Hold on,
person a question?
Skyler.
It's a
Skyler.
reasonable question.
Hey, Skyler. Hold on, man.
Yes, sir.
Unless it's a politician and you voted for that politician, and that politician is representing you, they're working for you. You have a right to go and force them with words, force them to respond and do the right thing. But if a private citizen put together a meeting, and I don't agree with this homosexual stuff that these Turning Point people are pushing, it's totally wrong. And you can't be a Christian and be a homosexual unless you're a homosexual that know that's wrong and want to overcome it. But you can't be a Christian and be a radical homosexual. No such thing as two men married or two women. You guys are right about that, but you're wrong trying to impose it upon these people in private meetings.
Sir, I actually agree with you. I'm not attempting to impose my beliefs on anybody directly. I disagree with your statement that these people who, and let me put it this way, Jesse, you have an open platform here. You accept people calling in. It's your right, it's your prerogative to decide which calls you take and which calls you don't take. But if your show was based on the premise that you are holding an open public forum, you're not a politician, but you put yourself on your own platform to say, I will answer any question that comes before me, have at me. And then you're going to be dishonest and rearrange the line and put your own plans in and answer questions from people who, their questions are so wild and disagreeable that it's completely unpopular to hold that belief, so that any answer and any response can be acceptable to the vast majority. Do you think that that's an honest and open way for a Christian to act?
Why is it, so if I'm understanding you right, so if Turning Point announced, and I don't know how they did it, I just, all of a sudden I started hearing about all this stuff going on, right? My producer and others started telling me about it. Are you saying that, so if Turning Point decided, well, we're going to do, apparently they're doing like a tour thing to different colleges talking about these issues. Am I right about that?
Yeah. They're doing policy talks. They're talking about politics. They're talking
right.
about
And they're traveling.
wars,
They
the concept,
decided they're going to do this traveling across, going to different universities.
Yes, sir.
And so are you saying that originally they announced that it's a public forum?
That's their brand. They're saying that we are an open public forum, and that any individual, not just a student, any individual from the community where we are holding these talks is welcome to come in.
Okay.
Although I'm sure that Nicholas J. Fuentes specifically is banned, and he has never specifically attempted to enter, deceitfully or otherwise.
And
break his ring or anything like that. It's just people
hold on,
asking
Skylar.
questions. People
Skylar.
that- Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm going to let
sir.
you go if you continue to go on and on. You're trying to promote
trying
something
to-
here. So I'm
not trying
asking
to
you, and so they originally announced that they were holding a public forum. And the people who disagree with them, they went to this first public forum and they spoke up, right?
Not one, in many events, but yes.
But and
Many
so
people from the
after a
community.
while, so they went and they spoke up, and after a while, Turning Point decided we're not going to answer those questions. You're not invited. Is that the way it went down?
They didn't disinvite anybody. Nobody was specifically barred or banned or broke any sort of rule to.
But they said in our open forum, we are not going to answer you guys' questions. We don't want you up here asking us those things. Am I right about that?
They don't know which specific questions that they can.
No, you're not answering my question, Scott. I'm gonna let you go. You're not answering my question.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Did they at some point say, okay, those who disagree with us, we're not going to answer those questions. We're going to weave you out. We're not going to answer those questions. Did they say that or make that clear at some point?
I don't know that they ever openly made any announcement that these questions are unacceptable.
Did they at some point decide that when you guys went to the mic, they were not going to answer your questions?
You keep saying you guys. Like, I'm not part of any group. There's no organized.
Well, I'm talking about the
I don't
people.
get orders from somebody to try and go.
Skylar,
do anything.
Skylar.
I'm calling you just because I have an opinion. That's all.
Skylar, did they at some point decide, Turning Point, at some point decide, well, we're not going to answer these other people's questions about homosexuality and why they're pushing this into the concern? Did they decide at some point
I
they
can't
were
answer
not?
what their personal internal deliberations are. I don't know what any of their internal communications are. But as I've answered before, they have not openly, as far as I'm aware, made any sort of communication that says these specific people and these specific questions are not allowed to be asked.
Well, what are
These
you
people
guys
are
mad
not-
about then if they haven't made it clear they're not going to answer those type of questions?
I wasn't mad about anything, sir.
Well, what
I
are
asked
they
you
mad?
about
You're
your question.
representing them right now by asking me
I'm
about
not
it.
representing anybody but myself, sir. I'm asking
What
you-
are
I'm
they?
just asking for
Well,
hold
what
on,
are they
can I
mad
ask
about
you a question?
then? What are they mad about?
I can't speak for somebody else's anger. I don't know what anybody. You're assuming somebody's mad about something. I don't even know what anybody's mad about. I was asking you a clarifying.
Thank you, Skylar. All right, I appreciate. I'll let him go. He came in like a little snake in the grass anyway, pretending he wanted to answer the Bible question. And if he was a real man and not a beta male, you come straight. You don't come cricket. What the? Switching. You don't come switching. Real men are up front. They don't hate. They speak up. They point the right way. Not switching. You know what it is to switch? I think it's good that there are men out there, young and old, and especially white men, because white men don't normally speak up, who are fighting and standing up and saying, no, we're not going to accept it. You can't promote this stuff in the conservative movement. No such thing as same-sex marriage and all that crap. Ain't no black man got no husband. I think that's cool, but you can't impose yourself on people. You're not supposed to be deceitful. And then what you should do is start having your own meetings and invite them to come to your meetings and debate the issues or whatever you're trying to do, right? I invite people on this show. My producer try to get people on this show who disagree with me. Like the Turning Point. For the Turning Point, people are cowards. They won't come on the Jesse Peterson show, but I'm okay with that. They have a right to say no. No sweat off my brow. Really. The children of the world, they are who they are. And they have a right to be wrong. And you have a right to stand up and disagree with them being wrong. But you can't be all angry and carrying on. You could do your own thing. I remember when I moved to Los Angeles, and I still do even hear it now. I hear black people saying they can't do it because black people can't do it because the white man trying to keep them down. I'm like, what the? And so blacks haven't done anything for themselves. They haven't worked hard to work their way up in the last 70 years because they are angry and they're acting like victims and they're blaming the white man. I have never thought that I can do what the white man do or any other man. I'll do it my way and my time and my way. Nobody can stop you. But if you're angry, you're weak to whomever you're angry at. You believe that you can be stopped. You can't do it. Black people really believe, not all, but most, even the Christians. Believe, I'm doing the four-finger thing. They really believe that white people are superior to them. Their action speaks it loudly. If you ask them about it, they would say, no, I don't believe the white man is superior to me. But then they always complain about what they can't do because they're black. That means that you literally believe that somebody is superior enough to hold you down in life. I rest my case. Otherwise, why would you be acting that way, blaming them and saying that the white man keeping me down? And so to the men who are standing up against this homosexual stuff being a part of I guess they're doing it, they don't want them flaunting that stuff in the conservative movement. Why are you acting like they can hold you down? You can't force you're doing just what you're accusing the liberals of doing, forcing yourself on them. And they're trying to force their homosexuality under the pretense of being Christians into the conservative movement. Somebody needs to get a grip. Somebody needs to get a grip. We're the real men, not men that act like women. I don't know it. I don't care.
It's just a term people use, but they were on your side and now they're like, oh, no.
Well, that's what people do. People are angry. I told you, anyone has anger, they only agree with you as long as you agree with them. The moment you have one disagreement, you're their enemy. You can't trust angry people.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all don't believe it, right? Isn't that right?
No, I've seen it.
Yep.
You can't because look, you just said they turned on me. I don't even know all about who they are. I don't know all the players or anything.
Those are the fans.
Yeah,
I don't,
just the fans.
I saw Nick's reaction.
Just some fans.
Nick's reaction was fairly classy.
Well,
He kept
Nick,
it
let me
classy.
just tell you this: if you're listening, or somebody call you up, I remember now talking to you. You're nice. He's young too, like 20 or something, right?
22.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong.
Oh, Esteban say 23. Whenever I say Esteban is 22, he'll say 23.
Right. That's what I was thinking of.
I enjoy talking to you, Nick, but you got to move out of your mama's house, boy. You can't fight a battle living with mama.
Nice. You listening?
But I totally enjoy talking to you, Nick, and I like the fact that you are standing up for what is right, and I like the fact that you are white and standing up because white people don't normally stand up, especially white males. So I do remember all that. Now, all the other crap, as Joel would say.
What other crap? You're talking about this rumors about him and stuff?
Yeah, I don't care about all that.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I just like what I enjoy talking to him about. But here's what I want to know. So, and any of you guys can answer this. I don't think Joel know much about all this stuff. Do you?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
He was really interested in it, at least when we were watching the clips.
So here's what I want to know, step by step. There's an organization called Turning Point. And Turning Point is pushing homosexuality as a norm. And, I mean, they're pushing it.
Yeah.
And the guy that's pushing it, that owned the company, is supposed to be a Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're for homosexuality and illegal alien, all that crap. Am I right about that?
No, they're I don't know about illegals.
James
but
just
Not
said,
illegals, but mass immigration.
yes.
Oh, mass mean legal and illegal?
Meaning letting the people that come here and study, for example. Well, I think he might have changed his position about this, but they're for mass immigration, meaning letting skilled labor come in and stuff like that.
And
When we don't really need that.
We don't need that. Lord knows if we ever didn't need it, we don't need it now.
And the
Immigrants vote Democrat.
And the race thing is like not important to them, or how should I say, like they don't see a problem with whites becoming a minority.
Yeah, they call it racist. They call it racist to point out that whites are the only group currently voting Republican on the whole.
Who called it racist?
Turning point.
Turning point guy.
How can that be
Kirk.
racist? White people are not allowed in the Democratic Party just to vote. That's the only reason they want you there.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So Turning Point decided, okay, we're going to go around town holding our form saying, this is what we believe. We believe a black man can have a husband. And we believe in mass immigration, right? And so these other guys, the white guys who are standing up for America said, no, we don't like that. We disagree, right? And so they decided, well, we're going to attend Turning Point's event and yell at them, right? Am I saying this right?
No, you're not saying it exactly right, because some of them aren't yelling. They're showing up they're supposed to be respectfully asking questions at the Q&A sessions.
Oh, okay.
But some of them do yell. But I've seen them yell at a politician who's doing this stuff.
Who is the politician?
Dan Crenshaw.
Well, they can yell at him.
Right.
He's a politician. He deserved to be yelled at.
He only wants to talk to Democrats because it's easy to knock down the Democrats, but he can't deal with these guys.
But I don't want the good people fighting the good people the way that the liberals fight the good people. Should we be disagreeing, but we shouldn't be acting crazy, right?
He's always been honest about this for as long as I've watched him, and just recently he was doxxed and his address was posted online. So they're literally trying to ruin this kid's life. But
that's what Eva
I think
does.
that it's actually a good thing. Yeah, I think it's actually a good thing that he was always honest about this and never tried to hide that fact, because otherwise it would have been used against him as like, oh, look, this guy lives with his mom. Where it's like, no, everyone already knows that, and we don't really have a problem with it because it's kind of smart of him to be saving up all of that super chat money. He's going to be, probably making a huge bank, so it doesn't really bother me.
Amazing. Would you follow a guy to war that lived with mama?
Well, I mean, he's only 21. It's not like he's 40 years old.
No, he should be leaving home at 18.
Yeah, I guess, but, in this
Would you
time,
follow a guy to war that lived with
$1
mama?
Yeah, I probably would if it was Nick,
amazing.
yeah.
But what you don't realize, as soon as that war is over, he going home to mama's cooking. You're going to have to sit under a tree and eat beans out of a can.
And you'll be judging him.
Right.
MREs
You
are pretty
say
good.
that.
Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Amazing.
The thing that I like that you do, though, Jesse, is that you're firm in your beliefs and you accept questions if they come, and you don't try to run from them, deny them, shut them down. That's the only thing I don't necessarily agree with. Well, there's a few things I don't agree with TPU say on. But
Well, I don't agree that they shutting them down.
Right,
they should
that's what
be
I'm saying.
open. If they believe what they believe,
Right, that's
somebody
my point.
disagree. Let me hear from you. But if they don't want you
Right, they
there,
have a
I
right
don't want
to
to be there. They
They
have a right to be
say
there.
that.
So
Yeah,
should Turning Point come out and be honest? Be like, okay,
They can't be
Groypers,
because they're
don't come.
cowards.
Yeah,
They
people
can't be
aren't
honest because they're
No
cowards.
Groypers allowed.
Right. They
How do
should
you
just
even
say
enforce
that.
Yeah.
They should just say no.
Groypers.
Right. They should just say no Groypers allowed. We want to promote black husbands.
Right. If that's
And
what
then
they
the Groypers
believe.
would know, okay, we can't, we're not going. They don't want us there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
What? All right. D-Lives and Super Chats. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.